This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Ray Collins. 5 o'clock, June 27th. Let's get to the forecast. Good morning, John Scalzi.
Good morning to you. Folks around Venice may have been awoken to a couple of thunder boomers during the overnight around 2 a.m. in the morning.
Really?
We had a pretty big thunderstorm build out there, but not much over land right now. Things are pretty quiet. Morning commute should be just fine. The remnants of what was that one shower, just leaving a little bit of cloud cover around. Otherwise, it's not very active across the region currently. Taking a look at radar and satellite, well, there's just not much to show you this morning. Another quiet morning, but again, later on today, I think things will become a little bit more active. And again, like yesterday, we'll see most of that showery activity be in inland areas. Now, that pattern is going to shift. 180 degrees by tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Roads right now looking very clear in Manatee County. Not a single problem to talk about so far. Farther south, we do have some issues there. 301 southbound coming out of University, heading south. They'll slow down already. Also, as you get to Fruitville, heading toward the interstate around Tuttle and Beneva. Nothing in South County at 5:01 on your Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this morning, the search continues for those responsible for beating 2 gopher tortoises to death in Lakewood Ranch.
The tortoises were found earlier this month on a trail between the Summerfield and Greenbrook developments. Rick Adams tells us how there's money being offered now to find those who did it.
It's a sight Ray Redden and his 10-year-old daughter Marina would like to forget. 2 state-protected gopher tortoises, similar to the one pictured here, beaten to death. The pictures of the bloodied tortoises are just too graphic to show on television.
It wasn't good to see, for her to see what some people were capable of doing, especially to a turtle that hasn't hurt anybody and is innocent.
One of Marina's friends was meeting up with her for a play date nearby, and that's when the boy came across the gruesome scene on this path near Adventure Park in Lakewood Ranch. He then texted Marina to let her and her dad know what was going on.
When we first saw him, I was disgusted that someone would actually do that to the turtles.
When Marina and her dad arrived on scene, one of the tortoises was already dead with its shell cracked, and the other one was barely hanging on, lying in a pool of its own blood. Redden attempted to save the one tortoise by transporting it to Bayshore Animal Hospital, where it would later die.
We had to actually get a piece of cardboard box to slide the turtle onto the box because of the injuries that he had. He wasn't able to support some of the organs that were hanging out from him.
Elise Bennett is an attorney for the Center for Biological Diversity and lifelong Floridian dedicated to protecting rare reptiles and amphibians. Her organization added $5,000 in reward money on Monday for information leading to an arrest or fine in the killing of these tortoises. The total amount now being offered is $7,200.
We would really like to see justice for these tortoises, and we'd like to send the message that they're very important not only for our ecosystems but for our communities as well, and that we take it very seriously when someone does direct and purposeful harm to them.
Florida law states a person may not intentionally kill or wound any fish or wildlife species designated as endangered, threatened, or of special concern. It is a third-degree felony, punishable up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine.
I'm hoping that somebody will come forward and give the names of the person or persons that were involved, and I hope that they're prosecuted.
Reporting from Lakewood Ranch, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Day 2 of the trial against Punta Gorda Police Chief Tom Lewis is set to get underway today.
The chief is charged with culpable negligence. It's connected to the shooting death of 73-year-old Mary Knowlton in a police exercise last year. Knowlton was shot by Officer Lee Cole in a shoot-don't-shoot civilian exercise. The gun was supposed to be loaded with blank rounds. It was real bullets, though. Prosecutors argued Chief Lewis should have checked the firearm. Members of the jury also heard witness accounts of that evening.
An officer dressed in a hood and the visor mask challenging her, and the next thing we heard was 3 loud bangs.
An officer with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which investigated the shooting, also testified yesterday. New developments in the trial of Richard Williams. He's the one charged with second-degree murder in the death of his former girlfriend's 17-month-old boy. Jurors will continue deliberations today. According to the autopsy, little Quincy Pollard died from blunt force trauma to the head Prosecutors argue it was the result of something Williams did while he was alone with the child. The defense argues the damage could have taken place before. If convicted, Williams could face life in prison. A new program at the Bradenton Police Department is making it easier for police to identify and capture criminals.
Definitely an interesting concept here. It's called Safe Cams, and it's a program being used by several police departments throughout the state. Residents and businesses across the city are asked to register their own surveillance camera systems with the police department. That way, officers know where they can turn to gather information when a crime does happen. Police say video footage captured from surveillance cameras can be crucial in solving a case.
We are more than happy to share our surveillance cameras with the police and law enforcement. We have no problem with that whatsoever. I think it's going to be an excellent program. It's going to deter crime, and it's going to help citizens feel safer as well as us.
Well, registration is easy. It only takes about 10 minutes. We'll have more on this service next hour on Good Morning Suncoast. It's 5:06 on your Tuesday morning, and 2 drive-by shootings within the past week, only a block apart, and Sarasota police are now looking for answers.
The most recent happened on Sunday evening in the area of 31st Street and Goodrich Avenue. Police say a passenger of a silver SUV shot several times at a silver sedan. You might recall last week another shooting broke out on nearby 32nd Street near 301. Police aren't sure if the 2 shootings are related. Fortunately, no one was hurt in either shooting, but the police chief says she's just as concerned about passers-by getting hit.
We're really concerned that a tragic event can happen as a result of these type of incidents. An innocent person could be walking down the street or just cleaning their car in their driveway, and one of these bullets is going to hit them.
If you have any information about either of these shootings, you're asked to call the Sarasota Police Department. Suncoast Congressman Vern Buchanan will lead a meeting in Washington this week about human trafficking in Florida. According to the National Human Trafficking Resource Center, Florida ranks 3rd in the country in the number of human trafficking cases. And the reported number of cases of human trafficking jumped 54% in Florida last year alone. Florida's 29-member congressional delegation will meet on Capitol Hill tomorrow to discuss prevention, treatment for survivors, and also law enforcement's work to crack down on the crime. Florida State University's College of Medicine is one step closer to a youth program here in Sarasota County.
The S-Stride program has received a 5-year, $500,000 grant from the Charles and Marjorie Barancik Foundation. The program provides in and after school resources to help students interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, or better known as STEM, and it helps prepare the students for a possible career in healthcare. Sarasota County's S-Stride will target students at McIntosh Middle and Sarasota High School. And the union representing Sarasota County teachers is up in arms this morning after an anonymous survey used to rate their workplace was altered by the school district. For the first time in more than a decade, the survey comments section was removed on the order of the new superintendent, Todd Bowden. The 29-question survey aims to gather information about the schools and teachers' work environment. After the survey is conducted, the results should lead to discussions on how to improve certain issues. But the decision to eliminate the comments section was made without telling teachers and has many of them not even filling out the survey, saying their time would be wasted if they could not anonymously make comments about their workplace. But Superintendent Bowden and the school board are defending the decision, saying the comments section does not add any value.
It's a chance for the employees to really have their input heard. And that's why this whole thing about them being anonymous, well, of course they have to be anonymous. I mean, who else is going to put themselves in harm's way like that? This was the only opportunity for the employees and the parents, but we don't represent the parents, but to really have their opinions heard.
The union conducted its own anonymous survey in response, and they did include a comments section which has been made public. And a local charter school is looking to recruit the best and brightest teachers from nearby public schools, which in turn has some public education advocates worried about the future.
Manatee School for the Arts sent recruitment letters to teachers in the area with some of the highest middle school math rankings. Manatee Teachers Union President Pat Barber says teachers are especially vulnerable after recent contract negotiations that left them paying more for health care. This also comes weeks after Governor Scott signed a controversial bill that'll send more state dollars to charter schools. The assistant principal at Manatee School for the Arts says it had nothing to do with the letters.
Different districts have different performance pay plans. So teachers could check out those performance pay plans and actually go to the highest bidder.
We've been recruiting like this for years. We were always on the lookout for the best teachers in the state of Florida, throughout the country.
Starting salaries for Manatee County teachers is $38,000, but the union hopes teachers will also consider benefits like health insurance and retirement before making a jump to charter schools. And Manatee County is taking applications for its Children's Services Advisory Board. The county is looking for 6 adults to make recommendations to county commissioners about spending and priorities for children's services. All applicants must live in Manatee County. Applications are due July 27th. You can find the link on our website, which is mysuncoast.com. And the Suncoast is one of just 15 regions honored nationwide for its work in the community. Manatee and Sarasota counties are recognized as All-American City Award recipients by the Campaign for Grade-Level Reading and the National Civic League. The groups recognize local chapters for work in the community and engaging families to improve reading proficiency in children. Over the weekend, we told you that the City of Sarasota's Parking Division is requesting $300,000 of taxpayer money for the next budget. But now another department wants even more.
That's right. At last week's City Commission budget workshops, the city discussed the Bobby Jones Golf Complex's request for $425,000 from the general fund. Now, the general fund is made up of tax dollars and additional sources of revenue in the city. The complex expects to make $2.5 million next fiscal year, but plans to spend $2.8 million. An update now on a popular spot in Venice that was damaged by a lightning strike. Crews have started re-roofing the Venice Community Center. A small section of the south parking lot will be barricaded off for the next 6 to 8 weeks, but the building will remain open. Back in early June, lightning struck 2 trees next to the center, causing some significant damage. Happening today, the Baltimore Orioles are hosting youth baseball clinics for young players right here on the Suncoast.
The clinics are taking place at 2 area fields, including the Ed Smith Complex on Tuttle. Orioles minor league players will give instruction on hitting, pitching, and fielding. Among those giving tips, players like Andrew Bellotti, Michael Costello, and Matt De La Rosa. Over 40 students from Oak Park School will take part in the clinic today before more kids are welcomed at future clinics taking part this week. And you never know what you're going to find while you clean out a pool on the Suncoast. Look at this. A Port Charlotte man found an osprey looking back at him while bending down to clean out his pool drain. It turns out the bird was stuck and his wing was injured. Charlotte County Sheriff deputies were called to help free him. Deputies posted these pictures on their Facebook page with the caption, "Who says animal rescues are just for firefighters?" Competition breaking out there. If you've got any neat pictures, send them this way. You go to the Facebook page at facebook.com/ABC7. Love to see your pictures right here.
Yeah, we would. That poor little osprey. That was so sad.
Yeah.
His little wing was broken.
What was he doing in the storm drain, I wonder?
For a swim, got caught.
Maybe so.
He was trying to cool off.
I guess it was certainly warm enough yesterday. Boy,
Yeah.
it was muggy. Just the humidity is so
yeah, it
thick. Pattern will be kind of similar to today, but tomorrow we're going to see a reversal. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay, thank you, John. Still ahead, we'll take you back in time to a popular place for some of the wildest characters on the Suncoast in the 1920s. Next, in a place we call home.
And later in the hour, a partial victory for the Trump administration on the proposed travel ban. The latest at 5:33. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce.
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-711-7200. That's 800-711-7200.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, the current temperature is still on the warm side at 78 degrees, almost 80 degrees at this hour of the morning, huh? We are headed toward another warm, muggy afternoon. Already dew point values coming in at 74. That 74-degree dew point. Just an indication that we are still in the warm, soupy air below a frontal boundary that's stalled out just to our north. Now, above that front, for our friends in, say, Atlanta or Dothan or even the northern Florida border, why the dew points are much, much lower and much more comfortable. But we don't get a taste of that. South-southeast wind continues for us. That southeasterly wind switches to the southwest, and we develop again the same sort of pattern that we got yesterday. Showers early on, a few of them, near the coastline, and then everything moves inland. And the inland folks will enjoy that because it'll certainly be warm in inland areas today. 75 currently in Wauchula, 77 in Arcadia, Mayaca, Lakewood Ranch. Temperatures here will be very close to the 90 mark or a little above again today. Parrish at 75, Bradenton at 76, Longboat Key at 80 already. 79 degrees in Venice, 78 in Inglewood, and as I mentioned, Sarasota coming in the upper 70s right now. Across the region, boy, we had a big thunderstorm out here in Gulf waters, not over land, but we did get a little sprinkle from some of the blow-off outflow boundary from one of those storms close to Osprey. But otherwise, things are very quiet across our area. We still have this trough of low pressure that carves its way through the mid-Atlantic and then down into the northern Gulf Coast. This is the one that I'm saying above, which the air is drier and more pleasant and fall-like. On the other side of all that rainfall is where we are, and that's where we get all the humid, moist, rich air, actually, through the entire column. Good potential down here in the southern tip of the state and the center part of the state for some heavy downpours of rain under the thunderstorms that do develop a little bit later on today, mostly in inland areas. Now, this front is helping to kind of destabilize our atmosphere. At the surface, its reflection is a stalled frontal boundary that just meanders through the northern part of the state. Eventually, and you don't have to look too far in the future, maybe another 24 hours, 36 hours, we'll start to see this frontal system begin to just basically decay away and eventually even just fade away as high pressure begins to build in. As that happens, we get a reversal in our weather pattern. Our winds become more established out of the east. That keeps our sea breeze pinned closer to the coast. And so consequently, not only do coastal residents get a better chance of showers, but the direction of the storm motion will switch. 180 degrees. Instead of building close to the coast initially and then moving inland, they'll build inland and then move back toward the coast. That happens tomorrow. We have a pattern today that's very much like yesterday. The east wind will begin to build as that high pressure builds in, and then the weather changes tomorrow in a fashion I just mentioned and stays with us right into the weekend. Those are the weather highlights that carry you through the next couple of days. You look at the rainfall futurecast, and again today, most of the rainfall will be featuring heavier rains on the other coast. That pattern reverses itself as we head into, well, particularly Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I think these heavier rain showers will be closer to our coast later in the day, around drive time in the evening. Kind of typical summertime pattern. Look for a 30% chance of rainfall today early near the coast, then inland later in the day. That goes up to 50 to 60% chance as we head into the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic, Manatee County looking pretty quiet. A few slowdowns on State Road 70 as you pass by 301. Other than that, pretty clear as we head into Sarasota County. Pretty quiet throughout that area as well. Not a whole lot going on. Some slowdowns over there, looks like on the Stickney Point Bridge as you're heading towards Siesta Key. Also 41 heading southbound into Osprey and into Nokomis. We can see some slowdowns there, but other than that, looking pretty quiet at 521 on your Tuesday morning.
There is a remote and beautiful spot here in the Suncoast. In fact, there are many of them. This one's hidden away from the whole world.
That's right, but it was once reportedly the playground of gangsters, smugglers, bootleggers, and Hollywood stars. Our Linda Carson has more in A Place We Call Home.
Travel down a tree-canopied dirt road just off River Road to the Mayaca River, and you've reached Snook Haven.
And it's just teeming with fish, and actually there were a lot of fish in here that they used to pull out. They had blue crabs, they had the tarpons, they had the snook, of course, and they would all congregate around the docks, and that's where the name of Snook Haven came from.
For centuries, native tribes walked these banks.
Around 1841, there was a man called William Whitaker, and he was the first man to bring a herd of cattle down to this region. He realized the potential for cattle raising because of the fertile soil.
When Prohibition came in the 1920s, Snook Haven became a popular spot.
It was used as a transport area. So the smugglers could come here and the bootleggers could come here, and then they could still take out their illegal wares.
There were wild parties here.
They had horse races on the banks, and they would take their horses through the tall bush and race them, and there was shooting going on, and they had lots of party girls, and they gambled and they drank.
A Chicago man rumored to be a Polish gangster arrived.
He built the lodge and the 5 cabins, and 5 cabins were for his buddies and the women of the night.
It also attracted Hollywood.
There was a movie made here called Prestige, and it starred Anne Harding, and I believe that was in 1931. And the scenes from were filmed inside the main cabin there.
There are rumors that jungle movies were made here, bringing in and leaving behind monkeys and killer turtles. There's no proof of that, but there are a lot of alligators. But when Prohibition ended, Snook Haven was abandoned until 1948, when Frank Coville and his wife bought it.
They decided to open up a fish camp instead of a fish resort. So it was the first time it was public access.
The cabins rented for $15 a night or $40 a month.
2006, the county bought it and turned it into what it is today.
And today there's a restaurant with good food and drink, kayaking, canoeing, and fishing, and there's lots of live entertainment and community celebrations. Snook Haven, an important part of our history and a great place to visit today. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
You enjoyed that too much.
That was a pretty entertaining segment from Linda. I'm actually crying because that was kind of hilarious.
I rented a boat there with my parents 20 years ago after a nice lunch. Great memory. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely have to go check that place out, especially those killer turtles. Got to see if they're real, you know?
Not documented. Love Linda. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, new research that says our phones could be reducing our brain power even when they're turned off.
And coming up at 5:30, the woman accused of leaking top secret information from a national security report due back in court. Details ahead of her appearance in front of a judge. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Welcome back, 527, 78 degrees already outside.
Oh my goodness. Whoa, it's going to be a hot one today.
Start. Yeah, it is.
All right, well, this morning it is almost time for what's being called Summer's Black Friday, one of my favorite days.
We now have a date for this year's Amazon Prime Day. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, another day of deep discounts and free shipping for Amazon Prime customers.
This year's Amazon Prime Day will be held on July 11th. That's a full day of lightning deals. Last year, Amazon rolled out new discounts as often as every 5 minutes.
Your smartphone may be responsible for reducing your mental capacity. A new report suggests gadgets act like a brain drain.
Researchers found the mere presence of a user's smartphone gets in the way of simple tasks because we're always thinking about them, even if they're turned off.
Where is my phone?
And it's a big birthday for an invention many of us depend on for quick cash.
Yeah, we're talking about the ATM turning 50. Barclays Bank unveiled the first automated teller machine in London on June 27th, 1967. Back then, they used an imprinted slip of paper instead of a debit card. Today, there are 3 million ATMs around the world.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Zelljans.
Your body was made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Zelljans is right for you. Zelljans is a small pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Zelljans can reduce joint pain and swelling in as little as 2 weeks and help stop further joint damage. Zelljans can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Zelljans if you have an infection. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Zelljans, and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Zelljans can reduce the symptoms of RA, even without methotrexate, and is also available in a once-daily pill. Ask about Zelljans XR.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, funds, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits, including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-711-7200. That's 800-711-7200.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, parts of President Trump's travel ban on visitors from certain countries will take effect. The Supreme Court now agreeing to hear the case.
Plus, the woman accused of leaking top-secret information from a national security report due back in court. We'll tell you why.
And a man arrested for stealing a boat and letting it drive full speed on the beach is under arrest. We'll tell you what he left on board before he jumped out. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Oh yeah, that is not a postcard. That is not a 3D image. That is where we live, folks. Not bad.
It looks pretty out there. 5:33 on your Tuesday morning.
Yeah, a little skyline shot there. Welcome back. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi, who has a look for your forecast today. How's it shaping up for us this morning?
Quiet, really. There's not a whole lot of activity out there this morning, which I guess for a morning commute is a good thing. Not seeing any showers. We had some pretty big thunder boomers during the overnight, about 1, 2 in the morning off for the coast of Venice. Probably saw them if you lived right along the coast or were awakened by the noise of the thunderstorms out there. But they've died out, and they really haven't produced much in the way of rainfall over land. Radar right now pretty quiet across the area, just seeing those showers way out in the Gulf. A few fair weather clouds, that's really about it, but today will be similar to yesterday. Showers and thunderstorms will build. There were some pretty big ones in parts of interior sections of Manatee County yesterday, and I think today we'll probably see a similar situation. Daytime highs again warm, and in the afternoon, late afternoon, I don't expect to see much along the coastline for the drive time home. The pattern, however, changes big time tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. In Manatee County, the only slowdown so far around State Road 70 and 301. Not much to speak of. We will have some delays 301 northbound as you head between Fruitville heading toward University. Otherwise, all clear in that section of Sarasota County. And South County mostly clear at 5:35 on your Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, the U.S. Supreme Court has made some major announcements in several key cases.
The High Court has agreed to hear the case about the president's controversial travel ban in the fall. The decision will allow the ban to partially go into effect this week. The ban has sparked protests since it was first rolled out as one of the president's major initiatives back in February.
This is racist from the president.
The justices also announced they will hear a case pitting religious freedom against same-sex marriage, where a baker refused to make a cake for a gay couple that was getting married. Several politicians spoke out about that controversial travel ban at yesterday's Conference of Mayors in Miami Beach. In fact, Boston's mayor thinks enacting the travel ban before the case is heard will cause confusion. Others completely disagree with what it stands for.
Right off the top of my head, I think it's unwarranted. I think it's un-American. I don't think it's what this country was built on.
I'm hoping that the justices between now and October look very closely at the decision here and make a ruling that's fair and represents all of us in the United States of America.
Also at that conference, 250 mayors from around the country committed to run their cities entirely on renewable energy. The mayors also expressed support to fight climate change, especially after the Trump administration pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord last month. Other big news on Capitol Hill, the Congressional Budget Office has released its findings on the proposed health care bill. And while the bill could reduce the U.S. deficit by several $100 billion, the rest of the report does not look too good.
The White House now hitting back, saying the CBO is not always right about the legislation in front of them, making comparisons to what was previously said about Obamacare. Scott McLean has more with this report.
CBO's report today makes clear that this bill is every bit as mean as the House bill.
22 million. That's how many more Americans would be without health insurance by 2026 if the proposed Senate GOP health care bill passes, according to the Congressional Budget Office. Like the House version of the bill that passed in May, this version would end enhanced Medicaid expansion, eliminate coverage mandates, and allow insurers to charge older people more. Premiums would be down about 20% over the next 10 years for the average customer, and the U.S. deficit would also be cut by $321 billion. But those in the individual market would be hit with dramatic increases for services. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is scrambling to shore up votes for the bill, but these new numbers may not help.
From a political point of view, that if you had a problem with the bill, the CBO score didn't help you at all. It's going to be tough to get to 50, but time will tell.
Senate Republicans unveiled their version of the Obamacare repeal last Thursday to an underwhelming response by many in their own party.
I'm also concerned that the Republican version keeps most of the subsidies and actually creates a brand new subsidy. All of those things together make me very concerned that we're not going to fix the problem here.
Only 2 Republican senators can vote against the bill in order for it to still pass, and as of Monday afternoon, at least 5 are opposing it. In Washington, I'm Scott McLean.
Happening today, the woman accused of leaking top secret information from a national security agency is due back in court.
25-year-old reality winner is set to appear in front of a judge. Winner is facing espionage charges for allegedly copying classified documents from a computer to an external hard drive and then mailing them to an online news organization. Winner was denied bond earlier this month, and prosecutors hope to begin trial in the near future. If convicted, she could face up to 10 years in prison. And Bill Cosby is no longer part of a mural on the side of a popular restaurant in Washington. The images of Cosby and former President Obama were included in the original mural, but the images started to wear down, so a new version was unveiled last week. It shows about a dozen prominent African Americans, but not Cosby. However, the restaurant says the move has nothing to do with sex assault allegations against him. Meanwhile, President Obama is still there, along with former First Lady Michelle Obama, as our Prince and Muhammad Ali. It is 5:39 on your Tuesday morning, and back here in the Sunshine State, Governor Rick Scott is moving forward with 29 bills that he signed into law yesterday.
One of the more notable bills focuses on making it easier for parents to challenge textbook material as inappropriate. This was one of the 5 education bills signed by the governor, including increasing funding by $100 per student in the state budget. The governor also signed the bill establishing the $85 million Florida Job Growth Grant Fund, along with $50 million in repairs to the Herbert Hoover Dike in Lake Okeechobee. Scott vetoed 5 bills, including one that would have put warning labels on lottery tickets.
And Florida's next chief financial officer will be one of Governor Rick Scott's original political allies. Former state representative Jimmy Patronis will complete Jeff Atwater's term. Atwater is leaving the elected cabinet office for a job at Florida Atlantic University. This is Governor Scott's third major appointment for Patronis, who served in the State House for 8 years. The governor previously appointed him to the Florida Public Service Commission and the State Constitution Revision Commission.
One thing you know about Jimmy, whatever he tells you he's going to do, he's going to do. There's no question. He's not going to waver. He's not going to play games. He's a direct, honest person.
As your next CFO, I want Florida to be a place where government does its job fairly, predictably, and so workers can have great jobs at great Florida businesses.
While Patronis would not commit to running for a full term as chief financial officer, Scott could have a potential friend on the campaign trail in 2018 if he runs for U.S. Senate. Patronis will also be sworn in on Friday. Over the last decade, citrus greening has devastated Florida's most recognizable crop to a point where it's affecting more than just growers.
Yeah, also affected packing houses. The companies that ship these fruits to grocery stores and other vendors are closing across the state. They're down to 26 statewide. There was 40 3 years ago. The $8 million set aside for citrus research in this year's budget is part of over $200 million Florida and federal government dollars. The Suncoast man who runs Manatee County's only remaining packing house says it's time to start seeing some results.
There's been a lot of money allocated to go into research, but none of it has trickled down to the grower.
A few years back, we had maybe 150, 160 different potential programs that we were looking into. Those numbers are narrowing.
Lawmakers and a member of the University of Florida Agricultural Extension Office says they are optimistic for the future of citrus in Florida. And a man is now in custody after a stolen unmanned boat crashed onto Daytona Beach at full speed on Saturday morning. Jonathan Race, accused of burglary and grand theft after stealing a boat from Daytona Marina and Boat Works. The boat was found abandoned, but Race left his pants, wallet, and ID on board. Whoops, pants. Police say Race allegedly took the boat on a joyride after drinking too much. Race is now behind bars, waiting for a court appearance. Always bring your pants with you if you do that. Weird.
Very odd story.
You know, we're talking about that citrus greening. I just read an article that said that they've developed a new tree that is impervious to the citrus greening, and the fruit tastes as good as those tasties. You ever had those little things? Those are so good, right? Sweet.
They taste like candy almost.
And exactly, yeah. And apparently it's coming out in the next few years. You'll be seeing it growing. So maybe that'll be the relief we need.
Hopefully.
All right. Hope so. Weather in a second.
All right, still ahead. Have you ever thought that your cosmetics could be leading to other health issues?
We'll take a look at how they can affect skin irritation, hair loss, and more up next in Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Warm and steamy start to the day with 78 degrees. The current air temperature dew point 2 at 74, making it feel pretty sticky out there. We have a chance during these morning hours of a few scattered showers near the coast with these kinds of conditions. But it's really in the afternoon when we have the best chance of rain, and that'll be in inland areas away from the coast. Just as we saw yesterday, southeast wind switches southwest in the afternoon, pushing that sea breeze well inland. 76 Wauchula, 77 Arcadia, 77 in Mayaca, 76 degrees in Perry, 77 in Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, 78 in Northport, 77 in Punta Gorda. Along the coastline, a few degrees warmer with 79 in Venison, Inglewood, and 80 degrees at Longboat Key. So if you look at radar across the deep south, you clearly can make out a line of showers that stretches from the mid-Atlantic coastline all the way to the Florida coastline and then out into the northern Gulf waters. That's our stalled frontal boundary at the surface and our trough of low pressure aloft. The combination of those two things helping to sort of destabilize the atmosphere just a little bit and produce showers ongoing at this hour to the north of us. Now, locally, we don't have a whole lot of action. We're not seeing too much in the way of rainfall over land. We did see some pretty big thunderstorms out in Gulf waters earlier on. Those have since died down. This frontal boundary will actually be around for about another 24, 36 hours. And then we're going to watch it fade away and eventually just absolutely dissipate. As it does so, this high pressure ridge will build in, our winds will shift to a more solidly east direction, and with that easterly wind flow coming in from the Atlantic, it'll keep our sea breeze close to the coastline. So coastal residents will get a better chance at rainfall. Haven't seen a lot of it around over the last couple of days, but I think that's about to change. Now, we have seen the rains become heavier and a little bit more widespread in inland areas, but we need to switch our winds around to an opposite direction in order to get those rains closer to the coast. That happens tomorrow. So for today, we'll watch the showers build in inland areas, gradually drift away from the coast. Tomorrow, we'll watch the showers build in inland areas and then gradually drift back toward the coastline. So 180-degree difference in the way the winds will work and the way the temperature, the way the showers will work. Not much in the way of anything tropically speaking over the course of the next several days. That's good news. And the rain chances do nothing but go up as those direction of the showers begins to reverse and we start to see more of them closer to the coastline. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic, some slowdowns on 301, also on State Road 70, looks like some slowdowns also east of I-75. Other than that, downtown Bradenton looking clear. Biggest slowdowns in Sarasota County on Bee Ridge Road as you head towards the interstate. Also on 41 around Clark Road as you're heading south into South County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. No accidents. It's 5:50 on your Tuesday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, could your cosmetics pose a threat to your health? Well, the answer may actually surprise you.
ABC's Kenneth Moten takes a look at the products with the most complaints.
From hair conditioner to toothpaste to lip balm, they are products we use every day for personal hygiene and for our appearance. What may surprise you, these products are sometimes linked to adverse effects like skin irritation or hair loss. How often these events occur has been a mystery, which is why researchers at Northwestern University wanted to look into how often the users of these products and their doctors logged adverse event reports with the FDA. Looking at data from 2004 to 2016, they found a total of more than 5,100 such reports, an average of nearly 400 per year. Hair care products, a primary culprit, and the rate of these reports on the rise, more than doubling between 2015 and 2016. While there is no proof that all of the adverse events were a direct result of exposure to cosmetics, the report suggests that more oversight may be needed when it comes to those bottles in your beauty kit. With this Medical Minute, I'm Emily Rao.
No more lipstick or blush for me. That settles it.
Yep.
5:51 still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. You may have forgotten to take something out of your backpack at the airport, but nothing as big as this.
We'll show you what one passenger brought that gave TSA quite the wake-up call after this.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world.
If you get knocked down, stand up again. Rip it up again. Give me one chance, I'm gonna make it. Give me my chance, this is my chance, I'm gonna take it.
The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-747-0618. 800-747-0618.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. Many people with Medicare may be able to get extra benefits and don't even know they're available. You may be able to get dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. The Medicare Coverage Helpline is accepting calls to see if you're eligible to enroll now. You may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Making sure you go to the doctor and taking all your medications as prescribed can help protect your health. To make it easier, you may now be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that includes coverage for dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Help protect your health by choosing the right plan for you and get all the benefits you deserve.
Call to see if you may be able to get extra benefits including dental, vision, and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're eligible to enroll and may be able to get extra benefits now. Call 800-711-7200. That's 800-711-7200.
I'm Alan Cohn. Privatizing our skies. Air traffic control is now in the hands of the government, but President Trump wants that changed. Find out how it could affect our local airport.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast.
A reward is now being offered for the information on who killed 2 gopher tortoises in Lakewood Ranch. The reward has been increased to $7,200. The gopher tortoise is a protected species.
Plus, day 2 of the trial against Punta Gorda Police Chief Tom Lewis set to get underway today. Lewis is charged with culpable negligence in connection to the shooting death of a woman in a police exercise last year.
And minor league players from the Baltimore Orioles will teach some young players during clinics this week. One this morning includes special needs students from the Oak Park School.
Finally this hour, a huge lobster found its way out of its habitat. TSA agents found this 20-pound lobster inside someone's checked luggage at Boston's International Airport. According to the TSA, live lobsters are allowed, but they must be in a clear, spill-proof container. No indication yet if the passenger got to keep their little lobster and take it home.
That's no little lobster.
Oh my goodness.
What a find that is for TSA.
They might have got to keep the lobster, but the clothes, they're gone.
Give me that shampoo. All right. We'll have more local news and John's forecast after this. Stay with us.